and I know this kind of goes into our next segment, is Illuvium for everybody. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
the one of the biggest games that started everything off was Axie Infinity, and that was really kind of pushed to the front by people who were relying on somebody else's assets. Is that something, that you think that Illuvium is going to be able to provide, given the fact it's not mobile, given the fact that you maybe need a gaming laptop? Is Illuvium going to be for everybody?
I think in time it will be for everybody, but I think it's going to take some time. Right now, we've heard Kieran say multiple times that there's no plans for the Illuvium overworld made for mobile. Even if they have all the other games like the arena for mobile, the overworld is where everything works around the overworld. That's where you catch these alluvials.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't go out and catch these alluvials because you don't have a laptop, that essentially puts you out of the game.
I mean, even myself, and we talked about this, I have a MacBook, and it's not really a gaming laptop. There's a lot of lag if you get anything to work at all. And
I just had to buy a cheap gaming laptop myself because when the overworld came out, or like open beta, or not open beta, closed beta for the open world, I couldn't even play it on my iMac that I had. So I had to go out and I bought a $600 computer that works pretty fine. But there are a lot of people who can't even afford that, and if they can't play mobile, they're not going to spend the money, or they may not have the means to spend the money on a new computer. That's where Axie actually, I think, shined. A lot of people didn't like the whole idea of the scholarships, but scholarships in Axie gave a lot of those people who couldn't afford the assets a chance to play and earn something within the game. So I'm hoping we can do. Yeah, I'm very hopeful for it that we can do something similar with Illuvium. If say I can go out in the overworld and catch some alluvials, but I don't have time to compete PvP, but PvP or the arena mode is available on mobile, I could have a scholar use my assets to compete, and they might only need the Android phone or whatever phone they have to be able to do that.
Yeah. And one thing I want to mention, I don't want to sound bad that you can't play this maybe, or you're not going to be able to play the overworld on mobile, or it's not working on Mac. There is a reason for that, and it is because of the quality, right? So while it's some give and take, if you want a high quality game, you need a laptop that can handle it. So, just kind of stay in that. I don't want it to seem like, because I don't want a lower quality game to be able to play it on my laptop, on my MacBook. I do want the high quality. I think in the long term, that's going to be what's best. But and then in regards to what you said about the scholarships, people not liking them, it wasn't really a scholarship issue, because all that was is just somebody else investing more money and kind of handing it off to someone else as if they spent their money. The only issue was it was the rewards. If the rewards thing was never an issue, if there was a better economic plan for the SLP, the scholarships would have never been frowned upon. It would have been great. People may have not have made crazy money early on, but by no means, I don't think scholarships are a bad thing. I think it is necessary and healthy for the ecosystem moving forward in any game.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with you that the scholarships weren't an issue, but I'm going to disagree with you on the other part. I don't even think that the reward system was the reason why it sort of failed. I mean, actually didn't really fail. It's still, pushing on today.
Yeah,
but the reason for its big downfall, I truly think it was because of the gameplay. I think if the game was engaging and it was a high quality game, people would play it no matter what, and that's what we're expecting out of Illuvium. So even though Illuvium does have much better tokenomics, just the fact that it's going to be a more fun and engaging game, I think that the scholarship system could easily work. The main goal of playing Illuvium isn't going to be to extract from the system, which was what a lot of people were doing with Axie. Right. Most people, I think, are going to get into Illuvium, even if they go in with that mindset of they want to extract some money. I think they're going to get caught up with how good the game is and then just play it.
Yeah, and I do believe it's going to be for everybody. I do think there will be some obstacles that people have to overcome, laptops, money, whatever it may be. But I think in the end of the day, it's going to be accessible for everybody. And I don't think that's going to be an issue long term or even midterm.
In one other point to make on something you said was kind of the give and take of the quality of the game and not being able to play on mobile. Games like Fortnite there are mobile versions of Fortnite and mobile versions of some other really high quality games.
Fair, fair.
So yeah, you need to, optimize it down to a phone, to a smaller screen. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it might take some time, but I do think the overworld at some point, even if we're looking 5 years down the road, could be available on mobile. And I think when that hits, that's when true adoption really happens and the game really blows up. That's when we go from 2 million active players to 30 million active players.
And time will tell. Time flies. Bull run's coming up. People are gonna be getting back in the space, and I think we're gonna be ready to go. And